Hello, everyone, and welcome to this video on how to find the surface area of a cylinder. So we've talked in the past about how to find the volume of a cylinder. That's if you imagine you have a can, how much space is inside, how much water could it hold, how much volume is contained inside. But we haven't talked about how to find the surface area. And that is not the same thing as volume. The surface area is the space on the outside. So for example, if I had this cylinder here and I wanted to paint it, how much paint would I need to cover the entire thing? And this little YouTube video shows how we can deconstruct the surface area of the cylinder. So you can imagine the cylinder's basically got three pieces, the top and the bottom, and then of course the kind of sides of the cylinder. And this is where a formula comes from. If you want a challenge, you can go ahead and try and figure out the formula right now, just from looking at this. We have, remember, the three parts, the top, the bottom, and the sides. As it turns out, figuring out the formula is not that difficult. We already know how to find the formula, the area of a circle, right? To do that, it is area of a circle equals pi r squared. So we have the radius right here. We'd need to know the radius. But if we want to find the area of both of these sections, we can simply do pi r squared plus pi r squared, or 2 pi r squared. So that's the way we can figure out the area of the top and the bottom. Now let's say that we wanted to find the area of the last side, this red section here. Well, to do that, we can do a similar thing. This is going to be the height, right? That's how tall the cylinder is. We'll call that h. And this long side is just the circumference of the circle on top, right? We could call this c, or we could call that 2 pi r. Because remember, circumference is the same as 2 pi r. 2 pi r equals the circumference. And now this is just a rectangle. We know how to find the area of a rectangle. It's just the length times the width. In this case, circumference times the height. Or to make it so we don't need to find the circumference on our own, we just write that as 2 pi r times h. And that's it. That's the formula for the surface area of a cylinder. You find the area of the two circles, 2 pi r squared for one, pi r squared for the other. Together, that's two of them, plus the surface area of this rectangle, 2 times pi times r times h, which is really just the circumference, the length, times the height, the width. So that's the formula. Once you know that, of course, you can check out the Unit 8 notes. I've got this at the bottom of these. Here is the surface area of a cylinder. It shows you the formula and an example for how to use it. So let's go ahead and do one example before I end this video. What is the surface area of this cylinder? So we're going to use our formula, right? That's going to be 2 times pi r squared. Remember, that is the area of the top circle and the bottom circle. Each of them are pi r squared. Together, we've got two of them. And we're going to add to that 2 pi r, that's the circumference around the top, times the height, because this is going to give us the surface area of this outer circle, the side of the cylinder. And now all we need to do is substitute in and solve. So for pi, we do 3.14. For the radius, it is 9. So we have 9 squared plus 2, again, 3.14. The radius is 9, and the height is 7. So now, if you want to practice your math, I mean, you are welcome to do this on a piece of paper. I do not particularly want to. So, I mean, I want to practice math all the time, but right now I just want to solve this problem. So let's plug it in. We're going to do the 9 squared first. 9 squared, that's 81. Now we'll do 81 times 2 times 3.14. So this whole section, that's the top and bottom circle, have an area of 508.68. Now we'll do the second part. That's going to be 2 times 3.14 times 9 times 7. I'm just taking the numbers from this formula. That's 2 times pi, 3.14, times the radius, 9. We see a lot of that in the picture, times the height, 7. Multiply that together, and it's 395.64. Last step, of course, is to add these two numbers together because we want the total surface area. So 508.68 plus 395.64 is equal to 904.32. And the unit is feet. This is area, so we use square feet. And wonderful. So you can go ahead, try some of these problems on your own. And as always, email me if you have any questions. Bye-bye.